Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I find you well wherever you are. Welcome to our second session. If you are just joining us, we are talking to young couples, those who are who recently got married, maybe less than 5 years of marriage. The first session, we talked about the stages of marriage, and we said the first stage is the honeymoon stage, where everyone is excited, and maybe they would have booked a hotel or they're outside the country and they're enjoying themselves there for the first time. Everything is super calisticious, right? Then we say the second stage is, realization stage. The realization stage, where we say this is the stage where your eyes are being opened and you are beginning to see a lot of things, or you are beginning to realize a lot of things that you were taking for granted, or that you never really thought you would see. You are beginning to see the true colors of your partner, and you are beginning to discover a lot of things, that the guy is snoring. You are beginning to discover that the guy is a liar. You are beginning to discover that the woman is wasteful. You are beginning to discover that the person that you were admiring so much has certain weaknesses, and reality is beginning to set in, right? And then we said, as time goes on, as reality begins to set in, just because you are not friends, you don't communicate, there are two things that will happen. It's either endurance or adaptation. Endurance or adaptation, right? Then we were saying that marriage is not meant to be endured, but it is meant to be enjoyed. But if you fail to negotiate well through this stage, you will begin to be patient. After patience comes endurance, then after endurance, long suffering. Right. That was the topic that we had for the first session. I just wanted to give you a bird's eye view of what we talked about. Today we are looking at 5 love languages. Very interesting topic. 5 love languages. Love language is what makes the other person feel loved, not what makes you feel loving. It refers to the way people interpret and receive love. We interpret love and receive love differently. That is what is called love language. Love is interpreted in people's own perception and perspective. In most cases, we express love to others in a way that makes us feel loving. But the big question is, does the other person feel loved by your action? The rule of the thumb is that you love someone according to their own definition of love. That's what is important. Love them according to the way they interpret love to be. You might do something great for someone, yet it doesn't mean anything to that person. Do you know that you can buy a new car for your wife to say I love you in January? When Valentine comes in February, you don't buy anything for her, you have failed. As a man, you have failed. Right. Now, listen to this story. There was a man who was summoned to church by his pastor because the wife had reported him that he was no longer loving him. They both sat down, and the pastor told the man why he called him. He asked the man, is there something wrong that your wife is no longer doing, such that you are now no longer loving him? The man was confused. Me not loving my wife? The man said, wait, pastor, just wait. I want to ask this lady in your hearing, don't I pay rent? Number one, don't I pay rent? The woman said, you pay, sir. Don't I buy food? You buy honey. Don't I buy clothes? You buy my sweetheart. Don't I pay school fees for the kids? You pay my sweetheart. What then are you talking about? The woman opened her mouth and said, when did you last tell me you love me? When did you last tell me that you love me? Is that your problem? You know, remember when we got married in December 1999, I told you that I love you in December 1999 when we got married. If I have changed my mind, I would have told you I still love you the way I loved you in 1999. I haven't changed. You know, this story shows very clearly what we are talking about, the love language. To the man was taking care of the responsibility of love, paying rent, paying bills, doing this and that. As far as he is concerned, that is his portion of love. But a woman expects more than that. He expects more than that. He expects to be told every day, I love you. Telling him in 1992 that you loved him is not enough. It has expired. It has to be said every time regularly. Which means a man is speaking a language a woman does not understand. The man is working hard to put food on the table. To a woman, that is not enough. That is why the Bible, John Gray wrote a book that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. These people are from different planets and are speaking different languages. That's why I said my title, The Clash of the Titans. Because this is a giant from another planet and this other one is a giant from another planet. These two are supposed to stay together and live together peacefully. How is that so? Right. Another story is told that a man was confused when his wife accused him of selfishness. From nowhere, the woman just says, you are a very selfish man. Very, very selfish indeed. She told the man, all the gifts that you have bought for me from the time when we got married are for you to enjoy, not me. You bought me a pant, you bought me a bra, you bought me a night dress. You have never, that's the language, the superlative that women use. You have never bought me a phone, a watch that I can show to my friends. You are very selfish, even in buying me gifts. The man was shocked. Really? After buying you all those things, it was a revelation. This is the reason why I say, I'm saying women speak a different language and men speak a different language. And for these two human beings to live together peacefully, they need to sit down and teach each other the language of love, the language that they speak in their planet. You need to identify the love language of your partner and be intentional in meeting it so that you are singing from the same hymn book. You can be a stranger sleeping on the same bed as long as you speak different languages. Being together in the same room does not mean you are roommates. Now let's come to the 5 love languages. The first one is physical touch. To such a person, tender love, care, and public love, affection mean a lot to them. It shows you love them. As you walk in a busy mall, you have to be hugging them, holding them, hold their hands. You cannot refuse and say, no, me, I want to be swinging my hands. I want to be swinging my hands. Where were you when they were recruiting the army? To be part of the army where you'll be marching and swinging your arms. Hold a hand in public. If you don't hold the hands, you will hear the wife complaining or your partner complaining, are you ashamed of me? Are you ashamed of me? Are you ashamed of me? You don't love me. Ngiyakuyangisa, anti ngiyakuyangisa. You don't love me. That's why you're not holding me. That's why you're not hugging me. You're afraid that you meet your girlfriends. You know, such people, when you sit down with them and you leave a small gap, they say, why are you far away from me? Why are you sitting away from me? That is their love language. You can buy them a gift and they tell you that all I need is you. To such a person, physical touch is not a want but a need. Know the love language of your spouse and give you exactly that. We must show affection to our children so that they are not hungry for love. They even need our touch so that they know different types of touch, you know, so that when someone is giving them the wrong touch, they would know that this one is a wrong touch. My mother has never touched me like this. They will begin to identify it. Number 2, acts of service. Acts of service is also important. To such a person, any form of service that makes things easier for them is their own expression of love. Whoever assists them is considered as loving. Many men don't assist their spouse, unfortunately. You find a woman is carrying a luggage on her head, is carrying a child on her back, and is pulling another child with her hands. And the man is just strolling, holding a walking stick, and is strolling or putting his hands in his pockets. The woman wakes up and bath children, feed them, clothe them, while the man is sleeping, only to wake up shouting that they are late for church. No. That's an error, man. We should really change. There are men who end up having affairs with their maids, their secretary, because these people are serving them. If a man's love language is service, and as a woman you don't do that, that is an error. Cooking, you did not cook, and serving, you did not serve him. When he wants to wear clothes, the maid irons them. He will begin to gravitate towards the person who is serving him. The maid and secretary take place of madam, because madam is not available. That happens to women too. They are doing all the chores, and the man is not helping. The garden boy and the head boy is running around helping madam. Whoever supports and helps them will win their heart. Whoever supports them and helps them will win their heart. A helped wife is a happy wife. A helped wife, an assisted wife, is a happy wife. Help with children with homework as a man. If possible, wash, cook, and iron. I do most of the ironing. I don't have a problem with that. And even cooking, I can cook. I don't have a problem with that. But many men lack that support and service. The woman is not the only one who made the children. You are both parents and responsible for caring. Know your children as teachers. Attend open days and PTA meetings. Don't always be saying, me, I'm busy, I'm at work, I'm busy, and the woman is the only one who's moving around, going from this meeting to another. And you as a man, you are nowhere to be seen in the equation until the kids grow up. And if you do that, may I warn you, man, at the end you'll be crying when the wife, all the kids are educated and they're now working overseas. The wife will now be visiting the child in Australia, stays for 2 months there. He goes to Canada, visits another second born, and stays for 3 months there. And you'll be left at home like a security guard. Just because when these kids were being educated, you were nowhere to be found. And the mother was the one who was running around. Even if the money was coming from you, The mother, when he pays school fees, he'll be the one seen as if the money is coming from her. So be there also as a man. Take care of your kids. Number 3, receiving gifts. What we should know is that men are hunters. When they are still chasing a woman, one of the things that they do is to give gifts. Periodically, you need to surprise your spouse with gifts. You know, after chasing, as soon as they have caught what they want, men will stop giving gifts. They're no longer giving gifts because men are hunters. After hunting, they don't want to be chasing what they have already caught. But that's an error. At times, it's not about the size of the gift, but the thought only. As you drive home, you stop by the wayside and collect those fresh-looking flowers, good-looking flowers, and put them in a bottle. And then when you get home, you say, Mama, I thought of you as I was coming home. And then you hand her those flowers. You will see the angelic smile from the woman. You know, the smile that pulls one ear to the other. Right. You know, also, it's also important to buy a gift and you wrap it. You know, don't just buy a gift, then you just say, here's a gift, here's a watch. I thought of buying you a watch. And you just give the watch like that. Wrap it in a nice paper and put a note inside. And write a note inside. I know you will find it the way I found you. What? When she opens up and finds this, I'm telling you, she will be following you wherever you go. This gift thing, however, there must be a gender balance. I'm telling you, there must be a gender balance. You know, I don't know why women think that they are the ones who should be bought gifts every time. Why is that men are the only ones who are buying or never receiving? The women will be saying, what are you buying for my Christmas? You buy present for Christmas. What are you buying for my New Year? As a man, you buy. What are you buying for my Easter? You buy. What are you buying for my Valentine? You buy. What are you buying for my wedding anniversary? You buy. That is too much for the men. That is too much for the men to bear. You know, men are already bearing a lot of things. That's why most men have BP and so forth, because there's too much demand on the men. Right. So we are saying women, I'm challenging women to say, please also consider men. Buy something for the man, because the man did not marry himself. Right. And whenever you are asking a man to buy a gift for you, you know, even if the man is broke, you are putting that man under pressure to perform. This is the reason why most men end up stealing. Get it from me. Because once you say, what are you buying for our anniversary? What are we buying for my Easter holiday? What? You are putting the man under pressure. The man now will start thinking, if he's broke, what can I steal at work? What can I steal there? You know, and then you hear next time your man is in prison or man has committed a certain crime, just because you as a woman, even if you just say it without necessarily saying he should buy, because men by nature are providers. Once you just mention to say, is there any gift for me for this, the man is now putting himself under pressure. So even if he doesn't have money, he will go out of hand and even do certain things that he's not supposed to do. So please, women, be very careful. Feel pity for these men. They are already carrying a heavy load on their shoulders, paying school fees, paying this and that. Right, that's why most of men are having BP. Right. Right. You know, with women, as long as they are getting what they want, they are getting money, they are getting the man is paying bills, man is paying electricity, doing that. They don't mind being wife number 4, number 5, number 7. You see, you hear people who are married to so many women and you wonder why. It's not that maybe they are competing for love, but what they are there, they are saying, this man can provide for us. So even if I see the man once in a while, as long as he's providing for me, that's fine. I remember there's a king who got married to 7 wives in 1 week. And there was a musician who married 27 wives in 1 day. They are willing to enter as long as there is money. Right, the next one is quality time. Quality time, spending quality time with your spouse or your partner. To this group of people, love is spelled as time. One of the world's epidemic of today is the phone, social media. I'm telling you, it is the major addiction that is ending the social fiber of relationship. It is the cancer of this century. The phone has become a marital crisis more than infidelity. The phone is causing more divorce than infidelity. People are now doing infidelity in their phone. They don't have to have the person there physically because the person is appearing on the phone. Social media is digging up old relationships and connecting people who had relationship when they were still growing up in the village. They are hooking up. Hi, is it you? Send me your picture. Send me your photo. You are looking good. You are looking beautiful. You still remember our old nice days. And before you realize, you have reconnected because of social media. This social media. You find that the husband and the wife are in the same car, in the same room, but they are not talking to each other. They are all on their phones. Instead of gisting in the bedroom, bonding, but they are in their phones. Many of us, our children, do not know us because we are at work. And then when we come home, we are on our phones 24/7. You remember the story? There's a story of a boy who went to his father and asked his father, Daddy, how much are you earning per hour? The father said, $20. I'm earning $20 per hour. And then the boy said, can I have $6? Then the father gave him $6. The boy went away and came back with $20. And then he gave his father $20. Said, Daddy, here is $20. Can I have 1 hour of your time, please? Can I have 1 hour of your time? And we are saying we can only have a situation where our kids end up buying our time so that they can be with us. The biggest calamity in the world that we are facing nowadays is absent parents. Most parents are wallet parents. They are not there, especially the fathers. They are not there. They only send money, school fees, pay bills, buy clothes, buy food, and make children expensive. And they are not there at all. Children need your presence, fathers, not your presence. Children need your presence. You must be there for your children. Another story is told of a woman who booked to see his husband. This husband was a pastor and was always busy with church members. He had no time for the wife. So one day the wife also booked, used a different name. Say, I want to see you from 10 to 11. Right, he joined the queue. And the pastor was inside. He would spend 30 minutes, 40 minutes with each client. And he would be saying, next. And then he was surprised to see his wife being the next person. He said, honey, what do you want here? Why are you coming here? Then the woman said, right. So this woman was saying, I have an appointment with you because you don't have time for me at home. So I thought I should also come here so that at least I would have time with you. If only you know the effects of not spending quality time with your spouse. People have developed emotional affairs with people outside. People are looking for alternatives to fill the vacuum created by absent spouse and parent. Get it that? Spend quality time at work and quantity time at work and quality time at home. When you are home, be home. Women, and I talk to you now. When the men decide to stay at home, don't mess up the time please, I beg you, don't mess up the time. The day he decides to stay up with you, stop nagging. This is when you are home today. This is when you are home today. Where are your girlfriends? Where are your girlfriends? You are always out. You are always out. What has happened? Have they chased you? There's no match today. That's why you are home today. There's no match today. Most women do not know that by so doing they'll be nagging. And most women don't know what nagging is. When you are telling a man the same thing again and again, you are nagging. You are a nag. You are nagging. Men don't like to stay in a place he isn't doing well. That is why the Bible says he would rather stay on top of the roof or in the wilderness. When you repeatedly tell him the same thing, he will leave and go to places where he is not judged. Soccer places. If he's someone who is not going to church, you go to the bar, because there he's not being judged. Right. And then the last one is words of affirmation. To such people, what you say means more than what you do for them. Such people want to hear romantic expression. I love you. You are beautiful. You are handsome. I appreciate you. You are special. You are important. Men find it very difficult to express such words. Very difficult. Very difficult. Right. I know a car, you know that a car needs petrol to move. And a woman will also need such words for her to feel good. So even if you don't like petrol, you have to buy petrol and put it in the car so that the car can move. Right? You have no choice. So even if you don't feel like doing that, you're telling her that. Sometimes these days there's a phone, you can actually send a message through a phone and then just send it if you don't want to say it. There are certain songs, when I hear my wife singing, I know there's a problem. I know there's a problem. They are not love songs, but they are war songs. So already I can read between the lines that, today things are not adding up. When we communicate with my wife, at the end, we end the message by saying, I love you, I love you. If there is no such a declaration, I know again there's a problem. And I begin to prepare the weapons of war. Now, there are these magic words which we should get used to. Please, please. That word on its own says a lot. Sorry, excuse me, thank you. We grew up without our parents telling us they love us. But, of course, that should not be an excuse. Where you are